Hello, it is the 27th of January today. This is our second day in Philly. Oh, I say second, but really first full day. So yesterday left Pittsburgh at 7:30 for a train ride from Pittsburgh to Philly. That was about 8 hours. I think we got in, we did get in early actually, so we got in about 2:40 or something. It was supposed to be 2:59, so we did get in a bit early, which was nice. Did have internet access on that journey, which was also nice, so I got to, you know, watch a bit of YouTube, whatever. I will put in some footage here of us seeing a horseshoe turn whilst travelling on the train. It was a world famous horseshoe. It was it's a very tight bend in the track. If in Adelaide it would have been similar to what the Devil's Elbow was before they changed that now to the more kind of sweeping turns. But anyway, it was built. It took you a long time. Anyway, you'll see it.
The shovels, black powder, mules, and to move all the dirt and stone around to create the curve. And it took them 6 long years to construct this curve. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, coming up here on your right hand side of the train, get your cameras on and take a few pictures. The world famous horseshoe curve. Coming up next.
You said right, didn't you? I was like, oh no, we're on the wrong side. And then I was like, no, we're not. Then, yes, we are. No, we're not. Jesus, hell.
I don't know what you're looking
at. A horseshoe, like a Devil's Elbow, I guess. On your right side.
Oh, there it is, right.
I can't see it. I'll probably see it better looking backwards, eh?
Who knows, Leah? Who knows?
Yeah, when we're on the curve, I mean. We'll be able to see the track on both sides.
We're on it now.
Yeah, but when we're at the peak of the curve. Look at that little house down there. Look, they've got a little incline too.
Oh, we can have a picnic.
It is world famous. And you'll be like, really? Still can't tell left from right? 100% no, I still cannot. I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but we rode on the hop on hop off bus today, and yeah, every time he was like to the left, I was like, this left, to your right, this right. Anyway, I enjoy the hop on hop off for the local history you get and the local flavour or whatever, but that looking left and right is the absolute nightmare for me because I cannot tell the difference. Anyway, so got into Philly last night about yesterday afternoon about 3:30, but to be honest, it started to get dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock, so there's not really a lot we could go and do, because I just got some dinner and just stayed in the room. I think tried to watch some hockey, but they have a weird hockey night thing where they kind of flip between 4 different games, and I do like to channel surf, but I like to be in control of the surfing. I don't like someone else in control of it. It was very frustrating, especially when they were going to when they were leaving the games that I cared about, which was the Penguins game and then the Lightning Bruins game, and then going to the Flyers game and the Habs game. I was like, go back, please. Back, anyway. So that's what I did last night. It was pretty chill night. And then this morning, got up, the intent of getting the hop on, hop off around the city. Because it's the off season, kind of misread the brochure a little bit. Thought that it started at 8:30. Thinking that, if the first bus left the first stop, by the time we got to where we could get on, it would probably be about 9:30. So if we were there, well, maybe 9:30, I don't know. But if we were there around 10 or whatever, at some point we would see a bus. But actually, because it's the off season, the bus doesn't leave the first stop until 10 o'clock. And we were stop 19, and it takes about 56 minutes to get there. If it, that's the approximate time. It did not take 56 minutes. It took about an hour and 3 minutes, which is how long we stood outside waiting for the hop on, hop off. And it was cold, and I did not really rug up for cold weather today. I knew it was going to be cold, but I thought I don't want to be in the bus heaps of the time, so it's going to be fine. I was just wearing like a jumper. I didn't even take a beanie because my plan was, I'm jumping ahead again, my plan was to buy a beanie throughout the day. Anyway, so lost an hour just hanging around on the street, and then did get on the hop on, hop off, rode it for the last, I think, 5 or 6 stops, got off at the starting point, which is where the Liberty Bell is, and had we not seen the Liberty Bell before, we would have got off then and had a look at it. But anyway, we had a half-hour break, so we went into the Browse House, something along those lines, and got some breakfast, well, brunch really, late brunch, and got a Philly cheesesteak. So we finally got one, and luckily, because this is probably a fairly well populated by tourists, not really well, maybe it's a local choice, I don't know, but because of its proximity to like the Liberty Bell and both hop on, hop off bus services, that's where they go. They like go in there, use their toilets, a food hall, blah blah blah. They probably get a lot of tourists. So when we ordered our stuff, it was fine. I got American cheese and Mum got cheddar, but I'll put in my review now. I squashed it a bit accidentally when I was eating it, and I should have filmed a little bit first, but I did take a photo. I'll show you that later. So I got mine with American, and Mum got hers with cheddar, and it's really nice. The bread is so soft. Oh yeah, there's a Philly cheesesteak, in case you were like, we are in a place that also holds the Mexican consulate. It's a very nice building, and it's nice and warm because it's flipping freezing outside. So anyway, here it is, our first actual cheesesteak in Philly. It did get a little bit messy, but then I figured out I could tip it upside down, and then it was fine again because it's split down the middle, but that's fine because the bread is really soft. Yeah, I'm not really getting better at the reviews. I realised afterwards I should have filmed a little bit before I tried it. But I took a photo, and then it was only afterwards that I was like, oh yeah, I should have done that beforehand, and I did not. So anyway, it is what it is. But it was pretty nice. So then we did a full lap of the bus, which was about an hour and a half. Had a really great host, Ernest. He was like, it's got a real actual character. You know when people say, oh, he's a real character, and you're like, well, what does that even mean? No, Ernest says actual character. He was like, the rate of information just piling in was enormous. It was like, see that building, see that building, see that. It was full on. But there was, in that sense though, there was a little bit of something for everyone, because there was pop culture references in terms of like, this was from this movie. There was history specific things, both for suffragette movement, both for African American history, and of course, because of where we are, that American democratic or democracy, you know, that type of history. So it was a real mixed bag of information, but it was rapid fire.
The Sun Pump, the Enema, and Black Cherry Soda, which gave you the runs and flushed you. He was a doctor that always tried to get something out of you. We don't sell a soda anymore. The side of the highway, all of this was down the river before they took it back. This is all landfill.
So we did that lap thinking that, you know, after we did that first lap, the next time we'd get off at the Rocky Steps. So it's not the Rocky Steps, but it is the Rocky Steps, to go and have a look at that. The downside being, though, that because we are in off-peak, because we're lunatics travelling in winter, the bus comes about every hour, and like, it's good to go and look at a statue and maybe climb the stairs and whatever. So an hour is a long time to do that, but they are well aware of this. So they set up a thing where you could go, they were going to stop between 10 to 15 minutes right at the stop there. Everyone could go over and get a photo and have a look or whatever, and then come back, and then you didn't need to necessarily wait around there for an hour, which was really great actually. So that's what we did. We went, we got a photo. They've got a bunch of Eagle stuff up on the site, because they're going to have like a pep rally and a drone show tomorrow night. preparation for the game on Sunday, and it's, it's super hyped. So these are the Rocky Steps. I didn't think I recorded anything when I was here the first time, but luckily we've come back because I wanted to retake my photos because I didn't think they were so great. But anyway, there's going to be an Eagles pep rally here tonight because there's all Eagles stuff around, and also just over here, maybe you can see it from there. The Rocky statue is where those queue of people are. I think you can see his arms. There he is. There's the Rocky. And then, rode the bus back to that where we ended up having the cheesesteak and whatnot. So you just actually did a full lap of the hop on, hop off, and it was very good. And now we're having a little break, and Mum's having a Ozen, Jesus hell. Oh wow, geez, that's heaps of raisin. I nearly did it again. Raisin and oatmeal cookie with a latte, and I've got an Americano with a little half an inch of milk. Have to make sure I say inch and not centimetres. And then some of this monster cookie, which I'll probably eat over about 3 days. Anyway, it's very good. But then I also just saw these really cute stickers at this place called Art Star. We got this little Rocky. And this one, dark and bitter like me. I tell Mum that all the time. What coffee do you want? Dark, no sweetness. So then it was like, well, what are we going to do now? Like we've done, because this is the second time we've come here, the things that we were like, oh, we should go do this. We did that the first time we came, right? So we did the Liberty Bell, we did Love Park, we looked at a whole bunch of Benjamin Franklin stuff, and then it was like, well, what are we going to do now? And I'm not saying that there's not heaps of stuff to do, depending on what your interest is, but it's depending on what your interest is, right? So because we've been like to Boston, to DC, and now back here again, that's a lot of American history to take in a short amount of time. And so we thought we'd just go to the market and have a look around there, maybe try some, I don't know, other Philly food that you should try. And also they filmed some stuff from National Treasure there, so I was like, excellent. But because I didn't watch National Treasure before we left like I planned to, couldn't remember exactly where it was. Anyway, so we just looked around. Oh yeah, while we're in the markets, I also got these little football chocolates. Is that working? It's pretty dark here actually. From Mueller, they're milk chocolate footballs. I got them for my new workmates because they all have sweet teeth. They all have a sweet tooth. That probably makes more sense. So they all have sweet teeth, and because it's playoff time, and they're little footballs and they're very cute, so that's why I got them. Had a pretzel. Got some cookies from here. The famous 4th Street Cookie Company. So this was nominated as the best cookie place in by the Food Network. I don't know if that was in America or in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Anyway, there's a sign there. So, Mum is on a oatmeal raisin kick, so that's what she got. I'm always about a peanut butter vibe, so that is what I got. This has got peanut butter and chocolate chips in it, so that's going to be my treat for the next few days. But also, I got a black and white cookie, but it's got the Eagles on it, because I am on an Eagles kick, because we're here and why not, and also because I like to get on board. And I'll say this, the city does feel different from the last time we were here. So we were here last on the 6th or the 7th, around that time, whichever day it was a Saturday. The Eagles were playing the Giants that night, so there was still there was a game day, and there was, it was still I don't know, I guess like a regular Saturday, because it was a regular season game. And then now we're back and it's the playoffs, and this is it now. If the Eagles win this game on Sunday, 2 days from now, if they win this game, they're in the Super Bowl. And the city feels like it's pumping. So it does feel like different from the last time that we were here. Because, I don't know, I feel like people are just excited. When something good is is on the horizon. I mean, something is already good as you progress through finals. And I wouldn't know, it's been a while. But as you progress through finals, like, you feel pumped about it. And like, there's Eagles stuff everywhere. It's like I said, they're having that like pep rally or the drone show, and then like on the buses, it's got like Go Eagles. Like, everybody's wearing all their Eagles stuff in all the shops. There's posters up everywhere. Like, people are pumped, which is good because, you know, it's nice. It's good energy. Oh yeah, I've adjusted the camera a little bit so you can see my jumper. It's my port one. I'm wearing that again. Because again, I picked this one because I felt like it had the most kind of snow vibe about it. But this jumper, like myself, has seen very little snow. And after I cleaned off the tomato soup stain, I actually spilled coffee on it today. In the white part, again, just in the white part. I don't understand what's happening here. The point of this story is that today, in this like super hype Eagles vibe that's going on, a guy did say to me, he's like, oh, I really like your jumper. He's like, I've got one like that. He's like, I got a custom made one with Jalen Hurts. And I was like, oh, excellent. That sounds so good. And then afterwards, we were very happy because we know who Jalen Hurts is. So we were like, yes, we can engage in these stories because we are about this hype machine too. But anyway, I just thought it was very nice. Just have a random person on the street to stop and say, I really like your jumper. Anyway, I really like this jumper too. Daniel got it for me. But it was been good. Anyway, so that's why I got this. Because like I said, I like to get on board. This is a massive cookie though, so I shouldn't have really got two. Mistakes were definitely made there again, but like I said, I just want to be involved. Actually, I thought I should taste this biscuit and let you know what it tastes like. I thought it might be a sugar cookie, but it doesn't really look like it from the back, so I don't know. I'll bite it across the top so I get everything. I think it's a sugar cookie. I think this is maybe like a chocolate fondant. I don't know. Anyway, go Birds. This is not like back home, you know, when you're in the, like when the AFL grand final is on, if your team's not in it, I don't care. You know, it's not like you can just start rooting for someone else. Like, you might think, oh, I hope they win, but really, I don't give two shits. And most of the time I think, I hope they both lose. Because that's how it was. But here I can go for everyone because I don't have an alliance to anyone, so it's great. I can go for everyone, which is why I had hoped to buy a beanie today, an Eagles beanie, because we are in Philly, and that did not happen because I went. Well, first of all, we had a bit of a bus mishap. We were waiting at the bus stop for I think the 3:15 bus. It did not come. Even though we asked the guy, like, hey, when's the bus due? It's like, it'll be any minute now, she's coming really soon. Anyway, our bus didn't come. We were on the red bus, a brown bus came. Now, I'll say this, that they're two separate companies, by the way. It's not just like two different colour buses, two separate competing companies. So we were waiting for the red bus. We asked the guy, where is he? He's like, any minute now. Anyway, at some point, maybe 5 minutes later, a brown bus comes. You didn't get on the bus because that's not our company. Bus leaves. Then we go back to the guy, like, still, mate, where is this flipping bus? Like, it's not just like 5 or 10 minutes late. It's like 20, 30 minutes late now. Anyway, he tells Mum then, after she'd already asked him, oh, that bus came. It was the brown bus. Apparently, I guess in the off season, they work together. I don't know. That was never indicated to us that they had any type of alliance. So we then waited again for a bus. So that's when we went back into the market, and that's when we got a pretzel because it was cold outside and we wanted something hot anyway. So by the time we got back then to our neighborhood, well, our streets, it was just after 5 and the Foot Locker had closed. Now, you're thinking, well, that's what happens. Shops close at 5 o'clock. They don't. This one is supposed to close at 7. The hours on the website say 7. The hours on Google say 7, that it was just updated by the business. And the hours on the actual physical door say 7. And I was among 3 people actually trying to get in the shop at the same time. And we're all like staring at it going, but why isn't the door opening? This is weird. It's not 7 o'clock yet. So I guess there was some reason that today in particular they were closing early, but I don't know what it was anyway, so I didn't get an Eagles beanie. The point of that story is that I had a cold head all day we're then anticipating buying a beanie at some point as we went along our travels and did not get one. Leave here tomorrow at 11:30 and go to New York. It's going to be interesting tomorrow because there are already some road closures and safety barriers well, not safety barriers, like barriers that are being put up around in preparation for the game on Sunday, but also for a funeral tomorrow, which I'm getting a vibe it's kind of like a state funeral, but I don't know. So there might be some road closures around that. So we're not that far from the station, but too far to walk with the suitcases that we have. So you're gonna have to organise the Uber pretty early to make sure that we can get there in time. Philly, we've done it twice now. Well, we haven't really done it. It's only been 2 full days, I guess. But yeah, New York next. All right, love you, miss you.